Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Margaret Wiltshire, and this is the video podcast series, Lifestyle by Design, Not Default. My very special guest today, and who I'm truly humbled and honored to have, is Alexis Romano. Alexis, welcome. How are
Thank
you?
you. I'm fantastic. Thank you for having me on today.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. So,
Absolutely.
Alexis, you're over there in New Jersey, right across the water from me. I'm in Manhattan.
Oh,
How is
maybe I could see you.
I'm sure. You know what? You probably could see my building if you're close, because I have seen my building from across the Hudson. So I'm in one of the clusters of high rises over here. One of the buildings in the cluster. So I wanted to talk to you today. Today our topic is persistence and belief. But before we jump right into the meat of the discussion, I wanted to ask if you could tell us a little bit about your story, maybe about the past 7 years in your life.
Absolutely. Well, the past 7 years, I've actually transitioned into being an entrepreneur. Although all my life I've pretty much felt as though I was an entrepreneur, even though I was in education for 21 years
Wow.
prior to. I was an English teacher for 7 years and then a high school guidance counselor for 15 years. So it was quite a long journey in education.
So what prompted you? Now you said you had the feeling that you had an entrepreneurial spirit there. You wanted to be in business for yourself. But what led to the change?
Well, I've tried a million things to create some extra income because as educators, we were just never paid what we truly deserved.
Mhm.
And so I waitressed and I tutored and I actually started my own cleaning business at one point. And real estate, you name it, I've pretty much tried it because I just wanted more than what was being offered at my job. So it's always kind of been in my spirit to be an entrepreneur and want to step out of the norm of what I was doing.
Okay. I'm curious. As a young child, did you have dreams of being an entrepreneur?
You know, I remember like begging my father to go to his barbershop to clean up the hair on a Saturday afternoon to make extra money, or if I could rake leaves to make extra money. So, I don't know if I had this vision or a dream of being an entrepreneur. I really, when I went to college, I didn't know what I wanted to do, to be honest with you. Um, but I knew I enjoyed teaching other people.
Okay. So you were able to replace your income, and now you have your own business. Actually, you have a few, which I'd love to hear about. And I want to know about that journey. I want to know about, when you stumbled upon what started to work. What did it feel like? What was it? Take me through that time.
Well, there was a lot of chaos in the beginning, but I didn't know that was, I was creating so much chaos because when you just start, you really don't know. But I stumbled across network marketing 7 years ago from one of my friends who I worked with in the high school. He came back from a summer vacation. He looked different. I wanted to know what he was doing. I'm very health conscious. I've tried everything under the sun. So for me, it was, okay, I'll do this. And so that's really how it started. I did a program with a friend of mine that I worked with, and I started to feel really great. And I wanted my friends and my family to feel really great. And I really didn't know about the business opportunity until he told me about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was that like when he shared it with you?
Well, I was a little, I don't want to say skeptical. I didn't know what it was about. I wasn't familiar really with network marketing. I always saw those people like making this like crazy amount of money, but I never really, it was like a fantasy thing that you looked at on, wherever. And so I told him I really didn't want to have anything to do with it. And he said, well, you're already doing it, so why not, benefit from it? And I literally said to him, I will listen to whoever you bring to me, but I'm not going out of my way to do it. And
Okay.
so, yeah, and so two people came to the high school and met with me, and that's how it started.
Okay. Network marketing tends to be, it's not for the faint of heart, and you said you were not really skeptical, but maybe a little leery. It was like a fantasy. I mean, I too have been exposed to some network marketing, and I'm like, is that really real? And I know I've tried some things, and I know for me, I tried to do something and one person showed up and it really crushed me. So can you tell me about some of your struggles in the beginning?
Absolutely. Well, I basically didn't know what I was doing. All I knew was that I was passionate about the products and I wanted to earn extra money.
Okay.
And that's really, for me, that's what it was. I was passionate about the products. I wanted to earn extra money, and I wanted people that I cared about to earn extra money and love the products too. However, that's not the way it always works out.
Mm-hmm.
So what I thought everybody wanted to get healthy and wealthy, that was not the case. And so, I talked to everybody I could possibly talk to, and I was like, why are they not seeing what I'm seeing? And it was basically, my family, the products, put my family on the products. And then, if you ask my sister or my brothers now, they may say that I forced them into the business. Although I like to say I was persistently annoying.
Okay.
But I truly believed in my heart that this was something that was going to work for all of us. And I didn't want them to come back to me 5 years later and say, I can't believe you didn't tell me about this.
Okay.
Yeah. So that, were there challenges? Absolutely. I created chaos. I started people on the products and thought they wanted to do the business, and I was working their businesses for them because I didn't really know. And so there was a lot of chaos created there. I didn't have a system in place on what to do next.
Okay.
So I did a lot of research trying to figure out what would work best for me. I knew for me, the way I learn, I need to have structure and I needed to be organized and I needed to be really simple.
Okay. So now fast forward 7 years later, you're a 7-figure earner, so what, and that brings us to the meat of our topic today, which is persistence and belief. And those two were the two strong character traits for you that you believed drive you to have the success that you have today. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Can you tell me about that? Share that with me.
Yes. Well, for me, it was taking small steps to, if somebody said, you could be a millionaire doing this, I would say, really? It's just such a big picture for someone to see. So for me, it was, let me see if I could replace my tutoring income. Let me see if I could replace my waitressing income. And then let me see if I could replace my full-time income. But it wasn't until I saw that I was able to do the small parts that my belief kept growing and growing. And my belief grew because I plugged into every training call. I went to every event. I drove hours to find leaders that I could resonate with or hear the information from. It was, I was persistent on finding out how I could get this done that would work best for me.
Okay. And what does persistence mean to you?
Persistence. I just wake up, and when you have the why and the what, it just drives you. And so for me, it was, I was really unhappy at my job. The last 5 years of my job was not what it was when I first started education. And it was never the students. Like I said, I love teaching. I'm definitely a teacher at heart, but it became, it was really unhappy. It was my Sundays were coupled with depression and anxiety. Like that's how I woke up on Sunday and went to bed on Sunday night. And I just didn't want to live like that anymore.
Okay. Okay. So that was the fire for you that kept you
Absolutely.
going.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
And along the way, in being persistent, and you said you took pretty much action every day. You did something every day, and you traveled and you sought out mentors. What beliefs did you have to get rid of? What did you have to let go of in yourself, to move forward and know that I can really do this?
Well, for me, it was every time I went to an event, I saw somebody who was just a normal person sharing their story of doing like these amazing things. And I thought, well, if they can do it, why can't I do it? Like they're no different than I am. I don't know what their background is. I literally stalked a teacher in the company, and I watched his journey, and I thought, well, how is he any different than me? And so my belief was built on those events and hearing other people's stories and like feeling that connection of other people's stories and really saying, well, if they can do it, I can do it. There's nothing different about what they have opposed to what I have. We both have the same products. We have the same compensation plan. And I have drive. I mean, there's never been a doubt in my mind once I put my mind to something that I was going to accomplish it if I really wanted it.
Okay. What were some of the skills that you needed to learn and develop along the way?
Well, asking questions without feeling uncomfortable. Although I felt uncomfortable asking questions, but it never stopped me. I mean, I would go to networking events, which was scary to go into the city with 100 random strangers that in my eyes were already building businesses, whether it's a small business or a network marketing business. And here I am, high school teacher, a high school counselor. And so that 60-second pitch that you have to do was terrifying for me. I would have a note card and I would record it and I would listen to it on the way into the city and, shaking and sweating.
Okay.
Because the whole business is stepping out of my comfort zone for me.
Okay. So I'm curious, what is your process like, for building your business?
In terms of getting people started or the beginning of the process for me?
In just making it work in general, like what is that like? Because you're working with people, you're building a team. It's not just recruiting, but that process. I guess the whole process of keeping people motivated, educating them, and having it develop and grow. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So, well, number one, I don't believe you can motivate people.
Okay.
I believe you can inspire people by your own actions, but I don't think that anybody can be motivated by somebody else.
Okay.
But my actions may inspire other people.
Okay.
And, I created systems for myself so that I could plug people into something that was simple, structured, and organized.
Okay.
So that they could work on all of those other things, 20% the how-tos, 80% mindset. And so if we get rid of the 20% of not worrying about how to put something together, it's already there. Now we have that time to spend on working on our mindset, stepping out of our comfort zone, working through those fears of maybe talking to people or presenting information to somebody. So I created 6 simple systems.
Okay. Do you want to share the 6 simple systems?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's about how you're going to present information to people, how I create my business using Facebook, what I do when I enroll somebody or recruit somebody into the system, just coaching people through the program for what I'm, offering. So it's just the steps, how to get somebody started in the business. What are the first 2 things that, are most important to get people into action? And just not overwhelming people with a lot of stuff, because most of the time network marketing is unfamiliar,
Mm-hmm.
and people just don't know what to do.
Okay. What has been, I know you said you're a teacher at heart, and I can see that, because what has been the greatest joy for you so far in this process?
Oh gosh, just watching my team. I mean, I know that my success is not just because of me. And, watching my sister and my brothers create and design a life that they could have only dreamed of, and people that I've known since childhood and high school, new people that I've built relationships with, that's priceless to me. To watch just the smile on someone's face when they're like, oh my gosh, I was just able to pay my kids' college fund, or oh my gosh, I was just able to make a car payment, or I went to Disney and took my kids. Things like that is just, it's heartwarming.
Okay. And what has been one of your biggest challenges on this journey?
Control.
Okay. Can you
I'm
elaborate?
going to be honest. I've been told I'm a little bit of a control freak.
Okay.
So it's gotten me to the point where I am, to an extent, but learning to let go of the control, that I've already put everything in place for people to plug into, and it's not my responsibility whether they're successful or they're not.
Okay. Okay.
Because I want everyone to be successful, and that's the control of, but that's not my responsibility.
Okay. So what do you say to someone who's fresh at this, not just in network marketing, in life, and they have a dream, and, maybe they've attempted to do some things and they met some big obstacles. What do you say to that person?
Well, you have to have a vision. I mean, the quickest way to bring your vision down is by doubt and disbelief. And so that's why mindset is so important, to do something every day so it becomes habitual, working on yourself every day. I mean, personal development and spiritual growth has been a part of my journey since I'm 18. And so it's always about expanding and growing. And I think that, when you work on yourself and you really take the time, even if it's 15 minutes a day, to listen to something positive that's going to help you, whether it's business or just life in general, but 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at night, or an hour at lunchtime, wherever you can fit it in. But personal development and spiritual growth is number one to me.
Okay. And what do you say to someone who they have a lot of limiting beliefs, or they carry disempowering beliefs that hold them back?
Well, you can find the great qualities of that person. But again, it comes down to that person. They have to have a really strong reason to get up in the morning and to not come home from work and turn the TV on, or not come home from work and, get on the phone and chit chat maybe, or, you may miss things with your family. I remember when I first started, I said to my family, you might not see me for a little bit. Doesn't mean I don't love you and care about you. I'm doing this for all of us. So you can either come with me on the journey, or you can watch me. And I said that to him. I said, but please don't be offended by certain things that I may not be able to attend now, because I know this is going to benefit us greatly in the end. So my why was so strong. I mean, I wanted to retire my mother. I felt as though she shouldn't have to work. And I wanted to take care of my parents so they don't have to work. And so I asked people, really sit down and think about why you're doing this, because there's some sacrifices that you're going to have to make. Instead of going to the beach on the weekend in the summer, you may be, making phone calls or going to a networking event. There's things that you sacrifice in order to have things in the future that are going to change your life.
Okay. And how has your life changed?
Oh my goodness. Well, I retired 3 years ago.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. And I actually I wasn't high up in ranks in my company. I retired making half of what I was making in my job.
Okay.
And I remember the conversation I had with myself saying, you finally reached 6 figures after 18 years and you're going to leave? And I thought, all right, well, this sounds a little crazy, and I'm going to leave my pension because I didn't get my full pension. I had 4 more years to go. So I lost my benefits, I lost my pension, and it didn't matter to me because my happiness was so much more important. And I said to myself, well, you lived on half of your salary most of your life, so you'll just curtail your spending a little bit until you reach your goals. And it was that moment that when I made that decision was when my business went into momentum. It was a law of attraction.
Okay.
Total law of attraction.
Okay. And what has been, something great that you did for yourself and you were just like, oh my God, I can't believe that I'm doing this for myself?
When I always promised myself when I was in my 20s that when I had money, that I was going to travel and work on my spiritual growth. Mm-hmm. And so I have been doing that. And it's just, I sit there in some of the events that I've gone to, and it has nothing to do with my business, but everything to do with my journey and my life. And I think to myself, well, this is what I promised myself that I was going to do. And I'm doing it and loving it.
Yeah, it's awesome when you realize your greatness and you step in, you make the decision to step into it and own it, and live it. And then, that saying, Marianne Williams in the quote, you allow, once you shine, you give others permission to shine, and you lead by your example. So that's really, really awesome.
And she's one of my favorites.
She's one of my favorites too.
Yeah.
So I know that you are also a health coach. Well, your business is in health and wellness. Can you tell me a little bit about being a health coach?
Well, there's not that much to tell, to be honest with you, because when I was still in education, I went back to become a certified health coach through the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. And it was really because I wanted to do something more. Okay. And I started writing a curriculum for the high school that I was working in, and I really wanted to bring something in that I was passionate about, which was health and wellness. And I tried to start a one-on-one coaching practice, and I struggled, and I thought, this is never going to get me out of my job. This is great for a little side something, but it's never going to get me out of my job. And I prefer working with groups. Okay. And so I loved the coaching part because it's the teaching and the educating people and inspiring people. But I also want it to be worth my time. And so I loved my experience at IIN. I actually went back after I graduated to become a certified natural chef. So I went to a program in the city for that, and I loved that experience too. But those were things that I was doing for myself. I didn't feel as though it was going to be profitable. So this was a perfect fit for me.
Okay.
It was a perfect fit for me.
Okay. And you have 2 other businesses?
I do. I own a gym in Hoboken called Thrive Fitness. And we're actually in the process of revamping and opening up soon. So I'm excited about that. And Body, Pole, and Soul. So if you ever want to take the ferry over and and come, at least we'll have some laughs and a good workout. And that's just all part of the network marketing business that I created. It wasn't something that I would be able to do if I didn't have the network marketing business that I have. And I also do real estate investing.
Okay, nice, nice. So you are a businesswoman at heart, definitely. And that's really awesome to see. I really admire women who take it to that level, and they live their life, and it's just an admirable thing, because we don't really see a lot of women doing that. We see more men, but it's great to see that. So
We're coming up. We're stepping into our power.
Yes, we are. So I want to ask you, what is your favorite app?
If my sister was watching this, she would laugh at you right now. Because I am not a tech person.
Okay.
But so that's probably the most difficult question to ask me. And I'm laughing because she just sent me something last night. And I said, I think you have a virus. And she said, no, it's a new app. And I thought, oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't really have one.
Okay. Now, I like to ask some fun questions, but what I will ask you about, since you don't have a favorite app, so I learned about you through my interview with Francis. And our interview was based on the importance of having a great mentor. And you, I learned, was one of his absolutely favorite mentors. And we did the interview, and it was in his room, and he took his laptop and he panned it over to these whiteboards that he had with all these amazing things that, he would see written on the board every morning he got up. And you were the person who gave him that advice. And I was totally blown away. I was like, oh my God, he's 21, and this is amazing, because I'm now learning to do this stuff. So
Francis is amazing. He's an amazing young man. Absolutely.
He is. So maybe we can have, I don't know, your favorite whiteboard or favorite information to put on a whiteboard. What's you feel like is your most valuable whiteboard?
My most valuable whiteboard is my team.
Okay.
I have 6-foot whiteboards in my office, and then I have small ones literally all over. People probably think I'm out of my mind, but it keeps me organized. It keeps me focused, and it keeps me from not feeling overwhelmed, because I always know what's happening.
Okay.
So the most important whiteboard is my team, and seeing where they are and who's at what rank and what they need assistance with is basically what it is.
Okay. So for someone, let's say, who's not in network marketing, like myself,
Mm-hmm.
what would you advise? I actually went out and I was really inspired. I have 4 little whiteboards. I got the cute ones. I live in a New York City apartment.
Yes, I get it.
And there's not a lot of space in here, but I got 4 little cute ones that you put together in different colors. So for me, let's say I get up in the morning, what would you advise that I put that's the first thing that I look at in the morning when I get up?
Well, daily affirmations. I'm a big believer in affirmations, but affirming and taking action. Okay. So, goals, your vision, I think those are really important things that you're going to look at and say, yes, this is exactly how I want to start my day, by looking at this. So I have 10 daily affirmations that I actually have Post-its all over my mirrors.
Okay.
So and I have my goals written down on my whiteboard. So I think your vision, your goals, and your daily affirmations, and what action you're going to take to affirm them.
Okay. All right. So what is your favorite flower?
Oh, I love daisies.
Daisies?
Yeah,
Okay.
They're just simple and pretty.
Okay.
Yeah, I love flowers. So,
Okay.
But daisies are definitely
a favorite.
Yeah, it's just a favorite.
Okay. What book has inspired you the most?
Oh, I have so many books.
If you have maybe a top 3, that you like to see.
For business, it was really one of the life-changing books for me was Jack Canfield's Success Principles.
Okay.
I remember reading it in the hallway during state testing, and my light bulb went off. So that's definitely one of them. Yolanda Van Zant's One Day My Soul just opened up.
Okay.
Love that. I actually wrote in it 3 different times in my life.
Okay.
And I remember looking back, and it's quite interesting.
Okay.
I mean, there's just so many. I mean, Jeff Combs' Psychologically Unemployable. I was reading that at work.
Okay. That must have been an interesting title at work.
Yes. And I'm like, that's it. I'm just psychologically unemployable. That's what it is. So, and Marianne Williamson, I have all of her books. I have all of her cassettes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have a shelves like personal development. Actually, Francis he saw them.
Okay. That's amazing. Marianne Williamson actually not too long ago spoke at a church that's not too far from me.
Yeah, I mean, I remember her coming into the city years ago. She used to come very often, and now she's in LA a lot more than she's in. Maybe I was at that event because I did go to a small church event with Marianne Williamson. This was a couple years ago. So I don't know how long ago. But yeah, I love her.
Okay. And I have 2 more questions. What is your favorite meal?
I mean, I'm very simple when it comes to eating. I don't really have a favorite meal. I like the social aspect of having dinner and going out more so than the actual meal itself. But if I could eat eggplant parmesan every day, I would. Okay.
And last but not least, your favorite exercise and favorite time of day to exercise.
Oh, yoga. Totally. In the morning, it gets me grounded for the day, and hopefully keeps me grounded for the rest of the day. That's by far my favorite.
Okay. So final thoughts on persistent and belief.
Well, I think when you're consistent and you create those habits, you start to believe that things are possible, because you can't just be willing. You have to be willing and ready. And so willing is just like a hope, a wish, I try. But when you're ready, you're committed, you're serious, and you take action. And I think that's what really will drive your belief, is when you're taking action on a daily basis.
Okay. And I always like my guests, before I close out, to recommend 3 action steps that people who are looking at this video, if they want to start living their dreams, knowing that it is possible and that they can, 3 action steps that they can implement in their life right away to start on the path of living their dreams.
Writing your vision out, being really clear on what that vision is, and knowing why you're doing what you're doing. You could just take action and you don't know why you're taking action. It's going to fade out. That's my belief. And your goals have to inspire you, not paralyze you.
Okay.
Because people will have these big elaborate goals and dreams, and it overwhelms people, it paralyzes people not to take action. But if you're inspired by those goals, you're going to take action.
Yeah. And you do something every day.
Every day. And working on yourself every day is the key.
Okay. So Alexis, I want to thank you very much for your time. I appreciate your time and your very inspiring story and your words of wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I greatly appreciate it and feel honored to be able to share. So thank you.
Thank you. And thank everyone for participating, for listening, for joining in. And Alexis, do you want to list your websites if people want to learn more about you can tell where your business is and they want to learn more about what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just alexisromano.com. So AlexisRomano.com.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.